The worldwide outbreak of corona pandemic sent panic mode across all nations, and Kenya was not spared. This led to President Uhuru Kenyatta ordering the closure of all education facilities in the country.
We have suspended learning in all our education institutions with immediate effect.
Koelel High School's principal, Mr. Philemon Obenge, and his administration had to send students home in the shortest time possible, as had been ordered by the head of state. The schools will remain closed until the 6th of October 2020, when resumption of in-class learning was announced by education stakeholders in the country. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha sent a circular to the county education directors with instructions and protocols from Ministry of Health of what the school heads were expected to do. The issued communication had elaborate guidelines which provided a framework for mitigation measures to be followed. Earlier, the ministry had issued communication to schools on what they were expected to do in case the schools reopen. This led to more school heads constituting COVID-19 response committees in their schools.
Just before we opened, we set up a committee that was supposed to oversee the preparedness within school and to monitor COVID situation. This committee is made up of 7 members. The administration is part of it. We have 2 representatives of teachers' welfare. We have the caterers, who is in charge of the kitchen area. And we also have a student representative in this committee, so that everybody is represented in matters COVID here in school. We meet regularly to update on what is happening around. We have various facilities that have been put in place to ensure that we will be able to tackle any eventualities in case we have such situations. Like we have an isolation room where we put in students who have any sign that, who are unwell, okay, to indicate that probably they could be suffering, they could be having the condition or otherwise. So we isolate them there, and we observe them, we monitor them, and once we are satisfied that it's nothing that is COVID, we release them back to class.
The committee laid down the COVID-19 protocols as advised by the Ministry of Health. The school installed 122 hand washing units together with much more soap dispensing units. These are placed in strategic locations from the gate to other locations within the school. School staff, being the frontline workers, are also provided with face masks and shields.
We've basically done over and above the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education protocols. We've provided school staff, all of them, with 5 reusable masks. Teachers have a box of masks each, a face shield, and a hand sanitizer in case they go to class to mark. They're able to sanitize so that they either don't infect the student books or don't get infected from the books. The kitchen staff also have face shield as they serve. They're able to again be protected. We have about 122 hand wash areas and more than 20 soap dispensing areas. And of course, we have hand sanitizers in selected places within the school compound.
Some of the critical gadgets the school has installed include standalone thermogans and also foot-operated sanitizer dispenser. They are meant to enhance high level of safety at Koelel High School. The school also teamed up with the public health institution in Gilgil to facilitate psychological support for students and all staff. The school also invited other experts to capacity build the school community in various aspects of COVID-19, including support that saw pastors invited in to encourage the students.
We've invited the public health and clinical health people on 3 different occasions to talk to the staff, support and teaching and also to students separately. We have also been able to call the medics in charge of the district hospital and disease surveillance, and the two have also spoken to the staff. But we've also had some pastoral care, 2 occasions, pastors speaking to students and staff about expectations, about the changing times, and what ought to be done.
According to the deputy principal, visitors are advised to follow all the safety procedures that ensure they remain safe while in school during their visit, while they are sorted out within the shortest time possible.
Office will receive visitors, though we don't encourage visitors to schools, but there are some parents with some issues, usually to do with the fees. When they come to the office, the first thing they do is they sanitize at the door, and then they sit. We have sit observing social distancing, and they then listen to their issues, sort in the shortest possible time, and then allow them to leave. During this time, even if it's an issue, whatever issue, they don't meet their sons due to these COVID protocols.
Additionally, the school has implemented strict communication tools by availing forms to be filled with content that gives the instantaneous health situation of every person in the school. This can be scaled down upward in the event their information is needed or in case a suspected situation occurs. This is coupled with isolation room just in case need arises.
We have forms that we fill daily. Today we fill 3 different forms and they're submitted. Some interactive, fill directly, some we fill in forms and send. Reporting how many have reported, if there are any cases. Where we have suspected cases, of course, we communicate directly with the sub-county director, who then cascades the information further above. And of course, we have direct access to the local hospital. So if we need them, we call directly.
Enforcement of the COVID-19 protocols is coordinated by the administration and all teachers. This has ensured the school remains safest, as explained by Mr. Kuria.
On COVID preparedness, we have prepared ourselves thoroughly. The students wear masks. All our workers have masks. We have washing points at almost every area that we have a big number of people meeting. We are also able to make sure that our visitors obey the COVID protocols. We also are, the teachers on duty, we are able to make sure the students are able to keep social distance and to make sure that all the washing points are properly prepared.
While aware that the school library can prove to be challenging due to the high number of students, Koelel High School Library remains one of the safest places in the school, as strict guidelines are followed by students and visitors who use the facility, as explained by the librarian.
In terms of COVID preparedness, we are well equipped. The students do sanitize by use of hand washing, check their temperature. And in terms of spacing, we have observed the 1.5 meter.
In his parting shot, the principal recalls how difficult it can be to remain in isolation in the event the pandemic strikes. He therefore advises the school community to remain vigilant and observe all protocols. The school is now ready to receive the rest of the students, having tried and tested the preparedness with the candidate class.
We are within the barracks. There was a whole period of 3 months that we were under complete lockdown. We could not leave, could not come in. Those who'd been doing some work in school were locked out. The school employees, some of them like watchmen, were locked out. They could not come, so we had to get used to whoever was in. That was a bit difficult because you can't see family, you can't move out. You're almost a prisoner.